Morning.
Morning.
This is January. Let's begin with a very difficult book called Joel. School term has started, and all the students are struggling to wake up. Am I right? The truth of the matter is not just the children are struggling to wake up. The parents are also struggling. Parents have two struggles. First, they struggle to wake up. Second, struggle to wake the children up. So the struggle continues. But the truth of the matter is, struggling to wake up is not just for school children, is it? Working adults also struggle to wake up. If you don't believe, let's try this. Those who are late this morning, put up their hand. I just don't have to do that. So we ask ourselves, how many alarm clocks do we need to wake up? Well, when I was young, the trouble, the frustration is not that my alarm clock rings in the morning. The frustration is my sister's alarm clock rings in the morning. And I can hear them. And I wake up to switch off the alarm. And they are still sleeping. And they couldn't hear. So there's after that, I thought when I got married, things would be better. So early in the morning, now instead of one alarm clock rings, two alarm clock rings. Esther's alarm and Louis' alarm ring, and they never wake up. So now, those alarm clock maker become smarter. Many years ago, they invented this button called the Snooze button, or snooze function. So the ring, you switch it off, 5 minutes later, you snooze again, you wake you up again. But the bad part of this snooze button is what? You tell you your 5 minutes. Don't worry, 5 more minutes, the alarm will ring again, then you press on, then you sleep again. Then 5 more minutes, you press on, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. But this snooze button will switch off by itself after 3 or 5 times. Then after that, nothing, you hear no sound. You wake up, everywhere is bright. Your blood pressure went to 180. Late. You chunk. MRT, some of you come out from leave your house without brushing your teeth and all this. It's quite evident. You know who you are. Messy hair, you know. So we ask ourselves, how many times do your alarm clock need to snooze before you wake up? But sometimes in life, there are some alarm clocks that it is better not to allow it to snooze, because it will be very dangerous. The passage today, in Joel chapter 2, there is this wake-up call, this alarm clock that sound off, or they are supposed to sound off this, they don't use alarm clock, they call it a trumpet. It's supposed to be a wake-up call, it's a warning. Verse 1, it says, blow the trumpet at Zion, which is Jerusalem. It says, blow it. And this trumpet call is not a soft call. This alarm is not called nice music, like a lot of our alarms today, it's very nice music, like Beethoven Symphony 9. This is not. This is a very it's a wake up call that wake up everybody. Verse 1 tells us, in fact, when you hear these, all the inhabitants are supposed to tremble. It is supposed to be this alarm clock or this kind of trumpet is supposed to make the hearer feel very uneasy, very uncomfortable. In fact, they are supposed to make them feel very fearful. No warning, the truth matter is no warning sounds soothing. And people today, they don't really like to hear uncomfortable messages. But people don't like to hear serious warning or stern warning. People love to hear comfortable messages like this one, They love to be amused, isn't it? People love to be amused, but messages from Joel give no soothing comfort. It is a stern warning, right? Yes. It's a stern warning to make the people uncomfortable. This is what it is. So blow the trumpet. And what is the reason? Verse 1 tells us the reason is that because for the day of the Lord is coming near. Because God is coming to visit his people. And this visit from God himself is not going to be a nice diplomatic visit. So what some of us will say, but God's visitation is supposed to be very nice, right? It's supposed to be something that we will look forward to. But over here, it is true that sometimes In the Bible, it says when God visits us, it's a good thing. It's a comfort, like Isaiah 40. When God visits us, it's a good thing. But over here, it is not. Over here, it is a terrible thing. Right? Over here, God's visit, the day of God's visit is a day of trouble. Verse 2 says, darkness will loom over the whole entire land. Verse 10 says, the heaven objects will lose their lights and become darkness. It is just signifying the day of God's visit. Over here, mentioned in Joel, is going to be a trouble. So we ask ourselves, what kind of trouble will this be? Well, verse 2 tells us, it's like a mighty people, mighty army coming to attack Jerusalem like you'll never see before, never you will see it again. It's something that you will never experience. And verse 11c asks a question. The last part of verse 11 says, if these things happen, who can stand? And the answer is, no one. So I put here, the day of God's visitation is going to be a day of trouble. It is overwhelmingly inescapable. Overwhelmingly inescapable. That's why verse 11 asks, who can stand? No one. And what is the day of God's visitation like? Verse 3 tells us it is like a consuming fire. That it comes through whatever nice garden in front of it, nice surrounding in front of it, like the Garden of Eden. After it passed through, it's going to be like a waste desert, waste desolate wilderness. It is like the forest, the bushfire in Australia recently. Whatever is combed through, the fire combed through, whatever is left behind is desolate wilderness. So I put here the visitation of the Lord will also be totally destructive. Totally destructive. Overwhelmingly inescapable, totally destructive. And verse 4 to 9 will tell us not just that it is going to be systematically invasive. It's systematic because no one will be missed out. And they are going to march through whatever there is, whether it's soldiers or locals or whatever, they're going to march through this city in ranks and file in a very orderly manner. No area of Jerusalem will be missed out. No area, absolutely nothing. It's going to be so invasive, there's no such thing as this is my private space, so don't come in. No entry, no such thing. There's no hidden places when you enter through the doors, enter through the windows like thief. It's going to be systematically invasive. And we ask ourselves again, what kind of trouble would it be? Verse 11 tells us it is going to be definite. The day of God's visitation is going to be definite. The Lord, after his voice, verse 11 says, God will execute his word. And he's powerful. Verse 11 tells us he's powerful to carry out whatever that he promised. So, let me summarize for you. What is this trumpet, this alarm clock, this wake-up call is like? The wake-up call from God, this trumpet sound, because the day of God's visitation is a stern, this wake-up call is a stern warning that God's visitation is definite, it's definitely going to happen. It's destructive, like fire, overwhelmingly inescapable. None of us can stand. Nobody in Jerusalem is able to say, I'm strong enough to stand against it, and it's going to be systematically invasive. No area, no space is going to escape from it. But this is the alarm clock from God. Don't snooze it. Don't ignore it. Don't procrastinate. It sounds very scary, isn't it? It is very scary. In fact, end of this whole portion, verse 1 to 11, last part of verse 11, the question asked is, who can endure it? Who can endure it? This is a rhetorical question that requires no answer because the answer is deep inside everybody's heart. No one can. And this form of question has been asked in the Old Testament. Let me show you a verse. Psalm 130. Psalm that Derek quoted from a little verse, but at the beginning of Psalm it says, if you, O Lord, it's going to mark, it's going to count iniquity, it's going to count our sins. The psalmist asks, O Lord, who can stand? God, in his righteous judgment, if he's going to count all our sins, what we have done, what we have said, what we are thinking in our mind, what we have done with wrong motives, he's going to lay it down. Psalmist asks God, Who can stand? The sins of neglecting Him, sins of loving things, loving people more than Him, sins of lying lips, slandering our colleagues, gossiping about our classmates, sins of pride, taking glory from God who enabled us to do whatever He has asked us to do. Sexual sins, watching pornography, premarital sex, extramarital sex, entertaining same-sex attractions, greed for money, sin of greed for money, gambling small time, big time, and wanting more and more money, never satisfied. Sins of jealousy, we are not happy. In fact, we think that God has shortchanged us. We are jealous over people's talent, people's gift, people's looks, people's intelligence, people's possessions, and we think that people's boyfriend or girlfriends are always more attractive than ours, people's spouse are always better than ours. If God will visit our sin now, where you stand? Where I stand? God's visit is going to be definite, destructive, inescapable, definitely invasive. Well, this is not just Old Testament question. In our responsive reading, Revelation, it points to the final day when God is going to visit this world, the second coming of Jesus. You take a look at the responsive reading and it ends off with this verse. Verse 17 says, For the great day of their wrath, the wrath of God who sits on the throne and His Lamb, Jesus, has come. Who can stand? It's a similar thing. The Revelation passage describes almost the same thing as what our passage says here in verse 10. When earthquakes, the heavenly bodies lose their light. It's almost the same thing. It points to this final judgment that Jesus is going to visit us again one day. But Revelation says, this final judgment is Christ coming for judgment, for the final day. And it describes the day of the wrath of God. Verse 17 asks us and says, who can stand? Who can stand when Jesus visits us again? His visit is definite. He will come, He promised. He's going to be destructive, overwhelmingly inescapable, systematically invasive. This is God's alarm call for all of us, all the inhabitants for that time, for the Israelites. But then, now that we hear it, we must understand this is for all of us. All of us. Don't snooze it. Don't ignore it. Don't procrastinate. We ask ourselves, is there really any hope for sinners? Thanks be to God, because when we look at this passage, the first call is at verse 2, but that's not the only call. Verse 12, there's a second call. The call to change course. Verse 12 to verse 14, calls to change course. There's a second call from God, and the call is to change the course of one's life. God says, return. Return. And Joel repeated that call in verse 13. He says, so now return to the Lord your God. He said, return. So when sinners are going away from the Lord, we are going towards self-destruction. When sinners are going away from the loving rule of God, we are going towards Satan's rule. When sinners are going away from God, they are going towards hell. Or the call is to return, the call is to turn back. So I put that the call really is the call for us to make a U-turn. When should we make a U-turn? Should we still continue to snooze off God's call for us? No. Verse 12 says, so now, turn. Turn from God. Verse 13 said again. Verse 13 says, turn now, back to God. We are supposed to turn back to God now and not delay. Well, last year, November 22nd, at 11 a.m., this Boeing 777 from Philippine Airlines was flying back from LA, Los Angeles to Philippines. And it took off with 347 passengers and 18 crews inside the plane. While they were in the air for about an hour, they heard a bang. And then, from below, they saw this, they took a picture. Can't really see, but can you see there's a bright spot over there? It's fire. And it's not normal for airplane to fly without fire. And they took from the inside the plane. This is what they took from the window inside the plane itself. The right wings of the Boeing 777 caught fire. What's that mean? Everybody was very scared. What should the pilot do? Well, the pilot made a U-turn. Quickly made a U-turn back to the LA airport. And because of that, everyone on board was safe, plus the 18 crew. If the pilot continued, what do you think will happen? Will be another disaster. Well, this is the same call over here. The call for us to make a U-turn now. Now. I put here, this is the call to make a U-turn before it's too late. Verse 12 says, even now, yet even now, the Lord declares, return. Return to me. If you hear God's word warning you through the preaching of God's word, the reading of the old word, through people having conversation with you, do not snooze it off. Do not procrastinate. Do not ignore it. Make a U-turn before it's too late. But some of us may be thinking, how can it be too late? Okay, well, I'm still living my life as normal. But when we sin, we are destroying ourselves. We are destroying the image that God has made us bear because we are made in God's image. So if we continue to sin, we continue to dishonor God, the image of God in us. We are destroying ourselves. And in sin, we are also causing hurt to the people around us. Our family members, our friends, our spiritual family here at the church. So we must turn back before the hurt goes too deep. But in sin, we are also causing harm to ministry, our service to God. So turn back before the harm is too severe. Sometimes it's too late because by then we continue to persist on our heart hardened. You may not see any immediate effect, but the immediate effect will be our heart is so hardened, we'll be like Pharaoh, King Pharaoh in Exodus. After seeing the 10 plagues, his heart is still hardened. He will not turn back to God anymore. Because the more he hardens his heart, the more he becomes numb towards God. So it'll be too late. Or sometimes it'll be too late because the opportunity for repentance is no more. Because our life is taken from us. Or it will be too late when Christ returns. By then, we will have to give account to him. When God gives us an alarm call, don't snooze it. Don't ignore it. Don't procrastinate. But some of us in our midst may also be thinking, I've gone so far away from God. Can I still come back? I'm so deep in sin. If I tell you what I've done, you will probably not be my friend anymore. Some of us may be thinking, I'm so dirty inside, so rotten inside. Can I still return back to God? Will God still love, accept lousy sinners, irresponsible person, and filthy person like me? Will God still do that? Verse 14 tells us, return. Verse 13 tells us, and there's a key word there, for, return because God is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and abounding in love. And the answer is yes, we can return. And the basis of our return, I put here, the basis for our return, because God is gracious. That's why you and me can turn back to him. Like what Derek said this morning before he led the worship, he says, if God is just, righteous and just, When we sin, we have to run away from God, which is true. But because God is slow to anger, abounding in steadfast love, we can run back. We can run back to Him. Don't have to run. Verse 13, verse 14 tells us God is more willing to bless us than to curse us. In fact, Ezekiel 33 tells us that God is not happy at all when sinners perish in their sin. He's not happy. But He's very happy when sinners turn back in repentance. Remember last week when Pastor was preaching about Luke 15, the parable of the lost son. When this filthy, broken, useless younger son returned to God, to the father, He welcomed him back. In fact, the parable we were explaining to some group that this parable shouldn't be called the prodigal son. It should be called the lost sons. First, the father lost this unproductive younger son. Second, he lost this unappreciative older son. But parents should in fact be called the prodigal father. Because the word prodigal really means to lavish, to spend excessively on someone or on something. The father actually spent excessive love and forgiveness and grace towards both of his lost sons. God, in this passage, tells us God is that gracious and compassionate father in the parable. He's slow to anger and is steadfast love. Abounding in steadfast love. It means He's faithful to His love towards us. If He changed, He will not change. And He will lavish His love to sinners. Because the Bible tells us, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. This prodigal father lavished His love on us by giving us the deepest, most worthy treasure of heaven. He gave us His own Son, Jesus Christ, who died for our sin. All our sins, no matter how filthy, how dirty, and how deep they are, He died for all our sins. And in fact, when Jesus Himself came, this treasure of heaven Himself came. He said this. He says, I come not to call the righteous, but sinners. He came to bring us back to Himself. He died and He rose again so that He would give us a new life as sons and daughters of God again. He called us to return to God with a sincere, genuine repentance and faith in His grace found in His Son. Some of us may be asking, I want to return. How? How can I return? What is considered genuine repentance? I cried over my sin, I commit it again. I cried over my sin, I commit it again. I say no, the next moment I do it again. What is considered genuine repentance? Well, there was a last call, a call for real action, verse 15 to 17, but we begin with verse 13, the call to rend your heart and not your garment. I put that is genuine repentance is not some external showiness. It's not some kind of external showiness. Because at the time in Israel, they probably tear their clothes. It's probably part of their cultural expression. But after tearing their clothes and their garment, they go home, they continue to live their life as